time for the Friday stream. Let's see whether everything is working here and whether everything streams well. We're going to stream and I think it's live. We're going to test everything in a second. This is Perp DEX season again, so we're going to maximize the points, but also try to this time long a little bit of stuff, because I think we're slowly getting into risk on season. Q4, Q1 2026 going to be very interesting. I'm not sure whether we're going to Valhalla, but probably going a little bit higher still for a bit. Stocks are super high. Gold is hitting all-time high after all-time high. And crypto is a little bit on the chopping side, but we got some great action on some of the coins, especially that Bitcoin is back to 120 and Ethereum is 4,500. So we're really in a nice spot here. We're going to revise everything. Of course, those streaming clocks are available. We're going to show everything that we do here. For now, let me check whether everything is working fine. Let me check whether we have everything on board, and then we can go on with the stream. As always, I'm going to revise what happened in the past week and what we're going to do maybe for the next week or longer. We're going to see whether that, let me check whether it's live on YouTube. It looks fine. On YouTube, let me check whether we have it on Twitter. Yep, Twitter working fine as well. So I think we're good to go for revising some of the stuff. So for the past couple of days, we had a very nice up on the season on a couple of the coins, or at least rebound of that. Plus daily runners, we had a couple of daily runners after on BNB especially. So BNB is also, I think it's around all-time high, or maybe definitely it's all-time high actually, especially right now. So yeah, if we go to BNB here, yeah, this is definitely all-time high, and BNB is doing very, very well here. For the price action, you can see that it basically almost doubled this year. So it's super explosive. It's very similar to, well, not entirely, then it basically like quadrupled or even more in 2021, or maybe even 10x within the span of like, you know, a month or two. Here, there's probably not a chance for that to be as explosive, but if you see at the what happened at the depths of the bear market in 2023 when BNB was at 200, and now we have it at over 1,200. So it did 5x, 6x altogether from that period of time, and just recently this year it almost did 2x. This is pretty cool. This is very exciting, and of course there are many different daily runners with different memes, like for Aster before that, for the Perp DEX that we're farming, and we're going to revise that and lighter, because what happened last time was we split the capital. Basically, that was already on 26th of September. We split the capital from Hyperliquid, where because basically after some nice run from $1,000 to $3,000, we were back to $1,000, and then decided to split to Aster and lighter, and basically try to farm it, especially that on Aster we only have a couple of days left, 2 days until the end of the season 2 of farming for the airdrop. So we're going to farm that, but also after Aster, there's we're going to put everything on lighter. And basically farm lighter, especially that lighter season 2 is also coming to an end. I think season 1 ended, and then season 2 is until the end of the year. We're going to revise that as well on Twitter. Anyway, what happened last time, we had those positions with well a little bit delta neutral, but on the side I didn't put stop loss. That was a mistake. I mean, of course I got greedy, wanted to have more profits along the way, so but because of the chop action got liquidated on everything. So if you remember order history, we have like a short sol and long ETH basically on one exchange, and the reverse of that on the other. On Aster, if you look at the trades, then basically we had here we had I think long Ethereum, short Solana, because we get liquidated for both. And this unfortunately will happen. Like ideally, if I were to be to be smart and not too greedy, then I would have stop losses put on the one exchange, so that if it gets liquidated on the one, then it's fine on the other. But because of the chop action and because I didn't put those kind of take profits like I always do, this is another example of why I should always do it. We got liquidated on both exchanges, and it means that we had a little bit less capital, because we have like 380 here on Lighter, and basically on Aster we have we have around 240. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more later on. But for now, we're going to, well, altogether we have like 250 maybe, right, with this margin balance. We're going to run it a little bit more. It's profitable. Plus, as you remember, we were reading the docs, and basically it was saying the more you hold the position, the more points you get. So we're going to maybe hold or maybe revise that in a moment. Anyway, what we have right now is right now a little bit of the sad thing. So 202 on Aster, and what we have on Lighter was, let me check that. Lighter was 380. So we got a little bit down, but we're going to revise some of the points, and that's a little bit more optimistic. I have seen that already. That gave us, we go on leaderboard, we have almost 5 points, which is really great, because 5 points is basically, if you see the OTC prices right now, we can see later, we can go to like OTC prices, Lighter, OTC, right? Then the recent ones that were here was something for around $60. Let me just check, maybe I'm going to check the owner of this group. I think he posted that recently. Yeah, I think you can see it here. You can see that you have recently the points are even going for 60, 67, which means that 5 points are around $300. And this gives back basically what we have lost, because we have lost something like, well, we lost like 300 or less. We had what? We have 540. So we lost like here minus 140, 240, 260, right? Yeah, maybe I can know that. Minus, and I'm not sure yet about the Aster, so minus 260, but plus 5 points, basically, which should be net positive. So if those points are going for $60, or am I calculating that right? No, it's 160 actually, sorry. 160, so it's very good. I mean, if it's if I'm fine, then actually we did like 140 altogether, so that was net positive, even though we were stupid and get liquidated along the way. It's still positive, and also it's positive even if you assume that Aster didn't bring anything. We lost what we lost. We lost basically more on Aster too. We lost 222. This is what we lost on Aster. I'm not sure about the points. We can check it out on Aster. I think what was it? Rewards points. We have some points, but I think, yeah, of course, we are pretty much far away. We got some points, of course, along the way, which should be fine. I'm not sure how well it would play. I'm not. This is something that no one. I haven't seen any calculations of how good that is. We can only compare to how many people farming and how far away we are. If you compare that to, I would compare that to Lighter actually. So comparing that to Lighter and looking at where we are in the Lighter, we are even farther away in the Lighter with 5 points, which means that might be good. I don't know how much worth those points will be, but I guess CZ will make it good. So maybe we're looking at something like $200, $300 as well. So even though we were stupid, we might be positive on this trading. We're going to see that in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks probably with Aster, because you get those points I think you get this claim soon, but you'll be able to claim it later. I think that's what I read will happen. So you'll be able to see that the season 2 will end. There will be season 3 coming along the way, but before that, you can do something as well. So today the plan is to actually farm it some more, but maybe on a directional side. We're also trying to make money. So altogether, farming went a bit wrong. We didn't put so maybe actually I'm going to do it this way, just to note it in the that will be probably no. Okay, I'm going to put it here because otherwise it's going to be hard to find points. Take profits, so both long and short leg of ETH SOL trading pair was liquidated on both Aster and Lighter. Cool, but we got some nice points. Yeah. So of course you can get more bullish on Lighter. I mean, I had this ultimate perp comparison if you want to check it out. Again, there's no Aster here because I couldn't find any information, and I think no one knows. Usually if you look at Aster with like $5 billion FDV and then look at, for example, what we have, 5 points, right? And then say airdrop percentage is something like 15 to 25%, and basically we're looking at from $300 to like $500. And that's cool, right? This is what will actually make for the losses that we make. So it really makes sense to farm this airdrop, of course, assuming that it's going to be fine, because you have to have a couple of assumptions, like for example, the fact that maybe those points, well, the exchange itself will not get so popular. Maybe we get bear market in the meantime. You know, there are many different things that you can do in the meantime. So we're going to see. So the plan for today is actually farm it some more, but in a, as I've mentioned, in a more directional way. So I don't want to, you know, I probably will leave those small trades or maybe add some new here. If you look at what we had a couple of other stuff as well that we did. But basically we had those major positions, and we're going, especially with Aster, we're going probably to go a little bit more crazy, maybe hedge it on Lighter, I don't know. Let's have a look at a couple of things. Of course, I'm super tempted with shorting BNB here, but maybe for the, you know, like just for like a short period of time, go with isolated just to make sure that, I don't know, let me just put a trade, right? And we decide along the way what will happen. Small trade never hurts anyone, right? Just to fill the market. And maybe I'm going to close it within this stream. So this is the idea. We're going to go for a couple of ideas. Usually I prefer to probably long something and hold the long for longer, because as a reminder also, we want to have, well, ideally limit orders. Those are the tips to maximize your DEX points. So you want to go with the limit orders. You want to trade niche assets. So this is what we were doing with smaller crypto, which has low open interest, like Popcat or maybe what was the name of it? Easy. Right, or Ktoshi. Those are the two smallest ones, and we have Popcat as well, because Popcat is the smallest one with 10x leverage, and this means that we can put a little bit more of be more capital efficient here. But of course this is nowhere the size, but also as you can see, you don't have to put a large size in order to get points. Then strategic liquidations, this is what we did. We get liquidated on both legs, but this time It's about getting points and at the same time making money, which is going to be cooler. Of course, nothing here is financial advice. Crypto is risky. I'm doing highly risky things, so you shouldn't repeat them because you're going to lose all your capital. This is purely for educational purposes and for entertainment. Yeah, so let's get and try to find something cool. Also, both of the exchanges or other exchanges as well, if you were to go after other exchanges from this list, I'm basically going mostly after Extended and Pacifica, also experimenting a little bit with Variational. I had some points on Vest, Ostium, started a little bit with Ajax and Paradex, but probably I would say that the main ones for me after Lighter are Extended and Pacifica. Extended on EVMs, and Pacifica is the number one on Solana, definitely. Vest and Ostium are also cool, but they are more for RWA assets, like you can have tokenized stocks and Forex and things like gold, silver on them, which are cool, or maybe just gold, not silver. So yeah, going back, the cool stuff is that you can, in order not to do wash trading, so you don't want to open a closed position just to have like huge volume, those probably won't get you any points on any of those exchanges, but you can hold, for example, Bitcoin short and Bitcoin long on two separate exchanges. And also what's cool, we probably will go over that next time, you can farm funding rate on the platforms, because you can compare the funding rate here, say on Lighter, and then funding rate for the same asset on Aster, and go whatever the difference is. So for example, you can have a bigger, you pay more as a long on Aster, then you go short on Aster and long on Lighter, and vice versa if the funding rate changes. Well, I think we just got liquidated on this 100x BNB. That's fine. Hopefully we get some points along the way. This is the way. This is the way. Basically, just watched Mandalorian recently, so probably this is something I'm going to say often. This is the way. $3 USDT loss, but we might get some points for it. I'm not sure. Is this updated live? No, it's probably updated every day. Anyway, what we're looking for is something less degenerate than 100x leverage, because we want to have those positions overnight. So what I would be looking at are I actually got into some of the Dino coins. I started, looking at them recently. And if you go to and just posted them on Twitter, let me check. Yeah, this is the thing. And actually, I've seen already a couple of people mentioning that Dino coins are an interesting bet, because there are a lot of people that are reminded about them, especially if you ask all the normies, all the people that are not hardcore into crypto every day, then those are the coins that they think of when they think about crypto. Of course, I don't have Ethereum and Bitcoin here, but those are also kind of Dino coins. I went with everything else, of course, XRP being the first of the list, but we have here Doge, Tron, Cardano, so the whole era from 2017 and before that. But also things that are a little bit forgotten, like Stellar, maybe Bitcoin Cash. We have the renewal of Zcash, just because recently Naval Ravakrishnan mentioned that, the founder of Angel List and a couple of angel investor, which is pretty well known. There are a couple of interesting coins here on the list, which are not available, unfortunately, on Lighter, but at least Lighter mentioned added recently ZEC. Let me just refresh that. That should be it somewhere here. So they added Zcash. Yeah, they have Zcash here. So that might be an interesting hold, actually. I don't think they have it here on Aster. Oh no, they have it. They have it too. They added it as well. So that might be an interesting delta neutral position. Just having that long and short on one of the exchanges. The funding is pretty similar, so we're just going to maybe just open it and hold it for a little bit. This is probably, let me go with I'm probably going to open long here, short here, also isolated. So yeah, this is not directional. This is just a hedge, but maybe actually I will long it a little bit more on that. Okay, so I will do a little bit of hedging here, just because it's a new asset, and we'll have, well, stop loss will be our liquidation price. That's fine, but probably we'll do take profit at some level. And that level will be, I don't know, 131, so maybe just before liquidation. 139. Cool. This is the liquidation, but maybe, yeah, on Aster I can go a little bit more into directional side and basically add it to the position. Let me go with the position like that. So basically what I want to do is have a couple of those Dino coins, and that's what we're going to try here. We're going to try to catch this resurgence, so we're also going to probably go with maybe ADA link, Bitcoin Cash, and see what's going to happen there. As you can see, we have all those coins. Well, basically they went already pretty high, this one at least. Maybe let's have a look at 1 hour chart and see what's happening here. Oh yeah, that was okay. Let me check also link is another coin I might and the reason for why I'm trying to long those things instead of trying to, for example, go after some of the more hot new ones is that I want to leave those positions overnight. I'm not sure what would happen over the weekend, so I'm probably going to decrease the leverage, still be on the long side. We're going to do a little bit of buying, but we don't want to go totally. Yeah, link is great. Yep. Liquidation. Bank. This is something that I want to open. So link. This is not going to be hedged in any way. So I also have a look at. Do we have Monero here? No. What else we can have a look at? Doge, of course. Well, we can go with hardcore 20x. Maybe we go to 10x, which is still pretty hardcore, but we have a chance of survival. Unless we, of course, go down. Yeah, this is... I think this is a cool spot. We're going to be a little bit risk on here. For huge wins, we probably, if we win, we're going to get to the levels of to the cool levels. I'm probably maybe I will put take profits here. I wanted to say that I won't put the take profits, but maybe I will. But they will be higher than before. That's some of the rules we're trying to have on the stream. Not enforced last time, but I should have. This is the reminder of some of the rules. We're trying to scalp mean reversion trades, jump in, jump out, momentum trades, pair trading. This is what we did last time. Trailing stop loss and then watching whales. We're going to still do it here and see what people are doing. But as you can see, they are pretty bullish. We're going after Dino coins, but maybe let's have a look at Pump too, because Pump, yeah, there's a small, that was a good beating point. Still, we are far away from all-time high. I'm going with 5x maybe here. Let's go with another position here. This is risky. I'm going to put Pump, but I'm going with a smaller position. And then, so this is cool. I want to open a couple of positions in Dino coins as well, as I've mentioned. What else do we want? We probably want, so we have Doge. I probably also want LTC, Litecoin. I didn't have that yet. There was also a little bit of movement here, as you can see. Well, this is one day. Just going not to be too hardcore with that. We can go with isolated. So we're beating a couple of Dino coins here, especially Aster. What's the liquidation will be at 108. So if we get a proper reversal, then we might get liquidated. Still fine. We should get enough points to be profitable here, which is cool. I'm going to put stop losses later on, or at least take profits, because all those are isolated. So if we get liquidated, I expect to have even more points. Of course, this is where you pay also some money here, especially on Lighter, because you have zero fees on Lighter, but you pay fees for getting liquidated. And if you see that, for example, this get liquidated here, and we paid, like hands-on fee of like $25, $20, and so on if you have liquidation. So it's probably better to not get liquidated in terms of money, but I think you get a little bit more points when you get liquidated, actually, because they share some of those fees with you when it comes to in points, basically, and those points are worth more than what you would pay in fees. So even though you get liquidated, you might be net positive in the end. I'm still running the same Popcat, Ktoshi, Easy here. Maybe even add to Easy. This is probably one of the coins that you can long and nothing happens really here. This is so low that, unless of course something happens, it's, drifting down, but on 5x leverage, you can just hold it a little bit longer. I'm probably going to add a little bit of that, like maybe order for $50. Yep. We can also increase maybe Popcat. Oh, maybe it's good. Maybe we can run it. Okay, we have a little bit more capital to deploy into Dino coins. So we have Link, Pump here, of course. This is not Dino coin. What Doge we already have. Let's have a look at ADA too and see how it's doing. It should be on each of the exchanges. Yeah, definitely ADA is a good spot here. So we're going with ADA as well. Let's see what's the liquidation price. We're going. Yeah, let's go with 7 maybe. That, yeah, it's going to be risky, but maybe worth it. So we're going to put a position here on ADA. I think those liquidation prices are pretty good, unless we get, like total reversal and then it's going down. But in this case, all our longs will be liquidated. We're going to get a lot of points for that, but probably it also will mean that, we can't count on any kind of prolonged bull market, or maybe we're in a crap market and everything is chopping around, which we would have to adapt to anyway. Okay, so we have ADA. Maybe, you know what, we can risk it really. We're going with ADA for ADA really looks good. So I spent all the capital on ADA here. I'm going to start putting stop losses, take profits, and so on. Just let me spend everything. I have Doge, and then let me see what else I want, maybe from this list. We can have a look at Ethereum Classic, I guess. This should be available here. Even with 50x leverage, but probably I'm not that degen. Let me just... Yeah, Ethereum Classic might be a cool way. We're going with maybe 10x leverage, market, isolated. We don't have much, but we can, commit half of what we have to Ethereum Classic. And let's have what the other side would be, maybe Bitcoin Cash also. Let's have we probably will check that. Do we have that on Lighter already? No, but we can have a look. Or I think it's maybe not that. Maybe we have something else that would be cool, like... What about XRP maybe? Let's have a look at XRP. Oh, it's not... It's definitely less volatile. We have ADA. What about Tron maybe? Nope. What we have? Litecoin, we have it. What about Ton? Yeah, actually Ton looks cool. I'm going to, put everything, or do I want to do 20? We're going with 10x leverage. So I'm going to put the rest into Ton. Bum. And it's live. Okay, so we have all the positions, some gains already on those, but we want to, hold them for longer, especially on Aster. I'm just thinking whether I want to put a stop, take profits. Maybe I should put them this time. Or we can revise the position along the way. I mean, liquidation prices are pretty good. I tried to, lower the leverage most of the time. We don't have anything crazy. I think 10x is the highest one here, but mostly like 5x's. Mostly 10x's on Aster and 5x's on Lighter. I think it looks cool. We probably can run this position. I mean, the longer they run, the better, because you get more points. I think it's working pretty much similarly on lighter as well. So if you hold the position for longer, there's some kind of multiplier for how long you hold the position. Especially you don't get any points if you just buy and sell, and try to get to quick volume that way. So there's definitely some component of time. Plus, we're bidding on the market going back up. So I think that's going to be cool. Yes, I'm not going to, even though I did that in the past, I'm again trying not to. We might get entirely liquidated this time, and this is fine. We're going to restart. If we get entirely liquidated, I think this is going to be still very profitable, because we will run so many points up that on both Aster and Lighter we should be fine. We don't have much capital, right? This altogether $600. So if we lose everything and got back that in points, we can restart the challenge next time and try to do something cooler. Also, probably we won't be farming Aster unless they do something like season 3, and they say that unless you farm season 3 you won't get points from season 2 or whatever. But we're going probably full on just on Lighter, or maybe go back to Hyperliquid, because there's going to be also Hyperliquid season 3. They're going to give points. Again, you already can see that on Hyperliquid. So it's definitely coming back. So yeah, so I think this is cool. So far, this is the kind of the positions that we want to have. The thesis, I think, is pretty cool. This time, directionally long on a bunch of Dino coins. ADA etc. Blah, and then plus pump. Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, in the worst case, we're going to get liquidated on everything and we get a bunch of points, and I think those points will be enough to cover the losses in this case, especially if those positions will run for at least like a day or two. And in the good case, we're going to get back to where we started, and beyond that, I think those positions can be definitely, especially the other positions or a couple of others, will get us back up in terms of capital. So we're going to see what will happen here. Definitely the biggest position is ADA, then we have Link, and on Aster we have a bunch of positions, the biggest being Doge and LTC, and then we have a little bit of Zcash, but that's hedged on Lighter, Tone, and TAC is from the previous time. This is one of those small coins. So we're going to see what will happen. For now, everything is green, but of course this is short term. We're going to see what will happen next time. So as a reminder, those streams are mostly on Mondays and Fridays. Lately, I've been streaming a lot on every Monday, every Friday, but in the past, it's mostly been like once per week. So we're going to see what will happen. Right now, I want to farm as much as possible, especially on Lighter, because I think this is going to be really, really big, probably Hyperliquid 2.0. But Aster is also great as well. They already have a token, but they're going to distribute some more of it. So we're going to see what will happen. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to quickly see whether you have any kind of questions. Let me know. Also, just write to me on Twitter. I'm going to check them out. It's cool that especially waves are more on the bullish side. So this seems also, or at least on some of the coins, because they, for example, slightly bearish on Doge, slightly bearish on Aster, but for some of the coins they're definitely bullish. Let me just check. Yep. Yep, I think we're good. So thank you and see you in the next streaming session. We're going to see how many points we'll get in the end on this live session. I think we're going to